how I got involved with this project with Brent. Not only do I distinctly remember how I got involved, I remember where I was when Brent first contacted me about the project. It was via text. I was sitting at the restaurant. I just finished working, and I was having a beer before I was going to go to the gym, and sir, what did you say? Sir, are you free to shoot a Halloween short before the end of the month? Fuck yes. Fuck yeah. YEHA was my response. I don't know if you still have the thread, but that was my response. 3 exclamation marks. And then it was, you forwarded me the link to the website, and I thought, holy shit, this is awesome. And then when you sent me that script was awesome because you and I love the original and part 2. And, we love other installments as well. But the original and 2 were, for so many reasons, they're it. And you managed to create in 24 pages a perfect bridge between the original and 2, because there's a whole genre that's being created between 1978 and 1981 with the release of the original, its slow building success, and then we all know the story about John Carpenter finally being convinced with money to sit down and write a sequel. And he didn't want to, and then he took the money and said yes, and he didn't want to again, and he thought there's nowhere I can go with this, and he got a six-pack that night in Los Angeles, and as he says, he got drunk, and he wrote, and he finished something, and he turned it in, and that was all that he really wanted to do with it. And his idea was masterful, because it was a sequel. It was a sequel continuing on from the moment that the original ended. And 3 years had gone by, and a whole genre had been created in horror films, the slasher film. Arguably, Michael Myers is the first slasher. Now, there are a few forerunners to that film purists will say, well, Westworld was. The character of Michael Myers was based on Yul Brynner's character in Westworld, which y'all need to see Westworld. It's incredible. I see the similarities. Being a Halloween fanatic, you see the similarities in that film and the character that Yul Brynner played. I forget the name of the character, but it's great. And so between 1978 and 1981, you have the introduction of a slasher in films, and you have the introduction of gore selling, blood on screen now selling. Halloween, the original, didn't rely on any of that. And so what Brent managed to do was to create this perfect bridge in 24 pages of the feeling and the tone and the pace and the suspense and the building of the original, mixed with the flow and the excitement and a little bit of the splatter that made Halloween 2 so popular with audiences. We get that suspensefulness and that building and development throughout the film. We have one gory kill, which is superb, as an homage to a kill in Halloween 2. And then we go back to other off-screen things that are happening, and then another kill that Brent does so expertly. It's scary and it's violent, but there's no splatter and there's no blood, but it's violent and there's shock in that particular kill of our high school student, played fantastically by Owen. So when Brent approached me and initially it was a yes, and then he sent me the script and I read it and I ate it up and I thought, okay, well, awesome, I love it. In a dream world, we can shoot all 24 pages, or Brent can shoot all 24 pages in less than 2 weeks. That the final film needs to be turned in for the contest entry. Thinking in my head, well, it'll be condensed because that's a dream. To do that and to do it well and to maintain the tone that I know he wants to. But as we see in the film, he shot the whole script. Or for those of you that don't know, as a watching, viewing audience, he shot all 24 pages, or maybe it was 25 pages of the script. He shot all of it. All of what it was written is in the film. That is a 30-minute story that was 24, 25 pages. It may have been, I don't know, anywhere between 24 and 30 pages. And I love the final product. And I hope that Brent feels that he accomplished what he set out to do from the the writing of that script, and the hope that it was a bridge between the first and the second that he wanted, and then what he finally cut together and submitted. I hope he's happy because it's a masterful short. The contest itself, I think, is great, and we talk about the contest now a few months later after the film is finished and it's been submitted, and with what happened or didn't happen with the contest. Is it too bad? Yes and no. Nothing that is ever done is wasted. And Brent and I have talked about this too, because there was a sense of tremendous disappointment surrounding what happened with the contest. It's a shame, but it's an artistic endeavor that was created to allow fans to express how they feel about the franchise. And, it ran into logistic glitches and insurance snafus and things like that. All these reasons that the contest wasn't able to happen. Well, Brent and I both know that we wouldn't have shot a Halloween short the fall of 2012 if that contest didn't exist. So, it's regardless of the fact that the contest had to be called off, or it was canceled or postponed or whatever. We made a film because of it, and it's a film that I was so excited to be in for so many reasons. Acting is my thing. It's what I do. It's what I love the most. It's what I take so much pleasure in being able to be a part of. But to be a part of this, to make a fan film in a project that I have followed as a franchise. I'd never done it. I mean, I suppose I had done one other fan film in a completely different genre once, but doing this and the film franchise that has been so dear to me and meant so much to me, just as a person who loves Halloween and always has as a kid, and who has taken so much from these films, it was great. I mean, it was rewarding to me in a sense that other film projects haven't been able to be, because it was so neat to have this template to work with and try to emulate, because the rest of the time when you're working in film and you're creating art, you want to create art that's original. You want to be different and unique and presenting a unique voice. This, we wanted to emulate. That was the goal, was to make it like a film we love, and that was so fun to do. And a lot of the joy that both Brent and I share, that we got to to do for real. So I loved that. The contest to me then was a screaming success. I would love to have seen a lot of the other films that were submitted, good, bad, ugly, or amazing. It would just be neat to see other Halloween fans' view of what the franchise is to them, and mix that with whatever film talent they have. So I don't know. Who knows? We may see those films next year at some future time on the Halloween Movies website. But I feel like we made something that was pretty awesome because of the contest. So for that, I'm thankful that it existed. In and of it, what it was. So. Playing Dr. Dementia was great. Brent had written full script for the Dr. Dementia character, for the Dr. Dementia segments that were going to be seen as sort of a film inside a film. And he sent me script on those, and beyond just getting dialogue down and having it ready to go, I knew that it was going to be something that was purposely supposed to be outlandish. It was supposed to be over the top. It was supposed to be fun, and Brent was going to put his own twist in it too, because it was going to be innocent and cute and fun, but it was also witty, and there was some innuendo in there, and then there's even some shock value in it too.
Oh, Batty, you do know how to get to the heart of me.
So, I loved it. I thought it was awesome that Brent asked me to do that as well, because at that point, he and I had already established that I was gonna play the Shape in the film, which was more than enough for me to be a part of in the film. That was something that I was so excited to do. But then when he mentioned very casually in his very laid back Brent way, hey, I have this stuff written that we're gonna film, and I'm gonna cut it down and use it as a film inside a film when we shoot it, but one of our shoot nights, we're just going to do Dr. Dementia stuff. And I was like, fuck yeah. So he had a great setup, and in his kitchen, it was the operating table, and the set that he created looked great, and it was very much an all or nothing character. So great dialogue, outlandish behavior. It was going to be shot in a way, he had sent me a test clip that he had shot himself, portraying Dr. Dementia himself, and honestly, I based what I was going to do with the character 100% on what he did with his, because it was awesome, it was cool, and it was creepy and funny, and I thought, you know what, if I can recreate what he did, I will be happy with how that plays out. So we did that, and we had Crystal play Nurse Batty, funny, and we got to spend a whole night doing it, and it was a blast, and it's fun. It was fun to do something the more outlandish, the cheesier, the better. And so we had a ton of fun with that, and Brent's script is great. I hope that the full segments appear on this DVD, because they are really well written, and they're really funny, and I remember he even incorporated a request that I had into the script. I think he changed something, or he just added a line or whatever. I said, Brent, I want to say the word macabre. Can we do that? And he goes, yeah, sure. So that's in there, and it's great. And I love the way it ends. You know, he's always, Brent as a director, a film director in general, he's always very open to suggestion or ideas that will come up either prior to shooting or during shooting. And we didn't really talk about how we were going to end the last segment. And so, I don't know, I did something and on a take or two, and we recorded the last segment. Actually, no, did it one time. We did the last segment once because we were running late. We had a great night of shooting, but I think Akkad was going to fill up, and he thought, you know what, let's wrap this up. So we did the very last part of the last segment once, and the choice that I had made as an actor, he just went with, and he color graded it, and he sort of juiced it around in post a bit. And what he did with it was so cool. Because what I did wasn't much. I was just trying to put a button on the end of the scene. And he took that, and being the filmmaker that he is, he made it so cool. It was almost, and I think he and I talked about this, it was almost Creepshow-esque. And really cool the way he faded it out. So if the Dr. Dementia's full segments appear on this DVD, the very last one, after he's stabbed, and he's sort of signing off, literally signing off. What Brent does with color grading and stuff, check it out. It's really cool. So the Dr. Dementia stuff was awesome. Playing the shape. Although I was really, as I've expressed before, extremely excited about being a part of this and the character that I was playing, I approached it very seriously, and I approached it differently than I would a different character as an actor, because I was taking what had been established of the character prior, and how I liked the character being done best, because as Halloween franchise fans know, we've had many takes on the shape, and he's been inhabited by many different actors, and he's been characterized many different ways based on the different approaches of all the different actors that have portrayed him. I took the way that I most enjoyed him being portrayed, and that was my goal, and I loved having that. From Brent deciding to go ahead and do this, and when we shot it, I didn't have any time to go back and look at what I wanted to look at, but I didn't need to, because I'd grown up seeing it. And my favorite take in the entire franchise on the shape was Dick Warlock's interpretation that he used in the sequel, in Halloween 2. And it just so happened that I have a couple masks myself, and one of them is the Warlock mask, the mask based on what the shape's mask look like in the sequel. And coincidentally, it's a mask that it was custom made for me by the mask maker, not me myself, but as a buyer, and it couldn't fit me better. I mean, it's as though it was shaped for me, and I have a very small head, and so I have a very small hat size. And when I received it in the mail years ago, when I got it, I was shocked that it fit me, and I love the mask even more. So, not only was that how I wanted to portray the shape in Brent's film, it just so happened that my mask is the one we used, the Warlock, and I had the blue overalls that were used in the sequel, and I think because in later segments it was either there was a green and then they went into a gray shade or whatever. I had traditional blue, the blue jumpsuit, so I was sort of dressed up wardrobe wise to be the shape from the second one. And that was what I set out to create, and Brent was totally on board with that, and we didn't rehearse anything, and the location that Brent had selected for the kids' house where Connie was babysitting, I'd been a part of the 25th anniversary convention in Pasadena in 2000. I hope my math is correct. 2002 or 2003, whatever the 25th anniversary was, and we went on a guided tour of the locations that were used in the original throughout Pasadena. And the house that Brent selected to use for the babysitter's house in New Prague here was it was eerie how well it matched in the sequel, where the sequel picks up when the shape goes to, I forget the character's name, but the first kill of the film, where there's that alleyway, and then there's the fencing, and there's the space between the two houses, and there's the clothesline, and he's stalking the neighborhood, and then he sees a victim come out, and he steps away. It was as if we were there. And so that was the first night of our shooting. And to step into the character, shooting that stuff right off the bat, it was amazing, because we even had shrubs that he was going to peer behind, that he peers behind, and we're shooting in late September, just like the foliage was exactly how it was in March in Pasadena in 1977 when they shot the original, and it was a hot, humid night, thankfully in September, and we were getting all the same exterior tone that the original had, and it was like the film gods, the Halloween gods were with us that night, because stepping in and playing the Dick Warlock version of Michael Myers on that first night of shooting, it was so easy to just step right in and do it.
So what do you guys want to do?
I want to make popcorn and watch Dr. Dementia.
And make popcorn!
Yeah, to have with our candy.
Your parents let you watch scary movies?
The way Brent shot things, it was point of view, and it was seeing kids go in, the setup. It was created perfectly. And then throughout the rest of the film, Brent and I have a shorthand from working together on prior projects, and we had a second shorthand on this project, because we both knew what we were referencing, and we both knew what we wanted to do, and it was just a matter of embracing being there and shooting stuff and getting things done. But it was really, really awesome, because he would show me some things, some angles that he was capturing, and I could sort of see the shape. It was funny, because I could look at myself in dailies as we were kind of going through, and I'm in this character, and it was so fun to watch, because we both know exactly what we want to do, and we both know exactly what we want to capture, and it was just fucking unreal. I loved it. So playing the shape was great. Again, Halloween gods, the film gods were with us, because there was a staircase in the house that we shot in, which was Brent's house, that it had a balcony and then a staircase, and it was a planked balcony. I forget what that's called, but just like in the original. And we did the stair climb, and we did the descent, and the looking over. He had to cut out a great look over shot that maybe it's like 6 seconds long, that maybe he'll include on the DVD too. But it's sick. It's one of those moments when it's captured perfectly, and it's a moment in that any Halloween fan would be like, wow, that's cool. And we knew it when we were getting it, and it was very telling of the entire shoot. I loved playing the character, and it was one of those things where a few times we did things once and he knew we got it and I felt like we did and we just moved on, and there were a couple other things where both of us didn't feel like we were getting it exactly how we wanted it, but we knew what needed to happen and what needed to be, and so we just shoot it and shoot it again until we got it, and then it was. Playing the detective was fun too, and honestly, I didn't lobby for myself to be in this film in 3 different capacities. It was honestly, it was a scheduling thing with another actor who would have stepped in and done a great job, really looked the part, and would have done fantastically with it. But the actor couldn't make it, and so Brent said, do you want to do this? What do you think? And I said, yeah, it'd be great, because obviously I'm all, you don't know it's me playing the Shape, and I'm all doctored up. There's a pun for you. Playing the Dementia character. And so we thought, well, we can try to clean me up and do this one segment. And so that was really fun too, and I got to act and react with the rest of the cast, in a sense, in a different capacity, with the scene that we shot with the detective.
The whole thing is under investigation, but from what you've told us, it sounds like this is the same wacko that killed those kids a few streets over.
So playing that was really fun because Brianna was great as Connie, and the kids were fantastic, being themselves and being in character and being scared and being excited that it's Halloween, all the different things that they did. It was so fun. And Dan Carroll stepped in, and he was the coroner.
We checked everywhere in the house. He's not in there. But, Jesus, it's a real bloodbath, sir. They're going to need a mop before they can even get the body bags in there.
There's a second of some humor in there, I guess, sandwiched in a very serious scene. But it was really fun to do that as well, and I was all too happy because it was the kind of a project where I wanted to be a part of it in any and all capacities available and needed. So yeah, doing that was really fun. My favorite scenes in the film, it's tough being so closely involved with the most of the shooting for the film. Makes it tough because playing the Shape, everything was great. What stands out to me was the first night of filming, when the kids are walking down the street trick-or-treating, and the Shape is behind these shrubs, and he's lurking, and he's looking, and he's being secretive enough, just like the Shape did in the original and in the sequel, in Halloween 2. And we got these over-the-shoulder shots, and they were the first things that we shot with the Shape in them. So this is the first time that I'm portraying the Shape in the film. And I just knew on our first take that we had it, and that I was going to be able to do this because I knew I could, but sometimes there's a distance between what you can do and then stepping on set and making it happen just how you want it to. And Brent and I both agreed right off the bat that we were getting exactly what we wanted to. So for that reason, that opening shot that we did, when the Shape is just beyond, he's behind the bushes and he just kind of moves them around a little bit and the wind's kind of blowing, all the elements were set up perfectly. Remembering that feeling as an actor that I had when we first shot that makes that scene one of my favorites.